up, y'all? We are back for Ep.6, Freaknik. That's what I'm going to call it, Freaknik night on Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Another episode of drama. It's always drama with these people. I'm very, very excited. I don't think I talked about it last week, but we got a reunion, finally. I've been saying it all season that I hope they get a reunion this season because we got a lot of stuff that I feel like needs to be unpacked. And we're getting a reunion, so I'm excited about that. I feel like we probably have like maybe 2 more actual episodes. Last season was 8 episodes, so I'm assuming that's going to be the same, and we get maybe a 2-part reunion. But I'm excited about that. But if you are new here, please thumbs up the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on the episode. And most importantly, subscribe because we're going to be here for the rest of the season. And hopefully they get a season 3, but I know the ratings have not been great, which sucks because I'm all about supporting Black cast, an ensemble full of Black people. But whatever, we're going to get into that. So let's go. All right, so we get up everybody pretty much getting ready for the day. Summer ends up being on the phone with her grandma, pretty much checking in on her grandma because her grandma's about to have surgery. And her grandma is saying like her eyesight might not be back for about 4 to 6 months after the surgery. So then we find out a little bit more about Summer, which I felt like would have been great to know and talk about prior to this because it made a lot of things make sense in regards to how Summer acts and why she acts the way she does. We find out that Summer's grandma adopted her because her mother was an addict and she just was not fit to take care of her. And she didn't grow up with a father either. So she didn't have her mom or her dad in her life. And she spent all of her life thinking that this one dude was her dad until she had actually contacted the man. And then he's like, there's no way that you're my child. So then she got back in touch with her mom. I guess apparently either her mom or her grandma got in touch with her mom. But her mom then tells her that there's a possibility it could be another dude. But she don't know the dude's name because it was a one-night stand. So Summer's essentially like, damn, my dad is out here. I don't know who he is. And he don't even know if I'm even here. He don't even know that he has a child that's here. And Summer's probably Probably my age, 27, 28. So that's crazy to think about. When you sit and think about it, like your dad is out here, you don't know who he is, and he don't even know that you even here. That's crazy. So when you think about Summer and what she's got going on, it makes a lot of sense. As to why she is the way she is, it's not an excuse for the way she is, but that stuff makes me look at her a little bit differently. But she says that she doesn't like putting her problems on to other people, and I, for one, relate to that. I'm the type of person, I don't like asking for help. I don't like talking about my issues. Even though I'm the type of person that's blunt, if something's bothering me, I'm going to state it. But anything that I deal with, I don't like to ask for help. I like to just thug it out and deal with it on my own. So I relate to her in that instant. But she was saying that she doesn't feel safe expressing her issues due to her abandonment issues with her mom. But we get everybody else getting ready. This weekend is significant others weekend. This is day 9 of 15 of them being out there. So all the significant others are coming. Donald, Preston's boyfriend, Natalie, Amir's girlfriend, and Simon, Bria's dude. They're all arriving today. Preston is throwing some cocktail mixer to pretty much have like a precursor for the Freaknik party that's going to be later on that night. But Preston and Amir, they're pretty much wondering how Jasmine's coping with Silas not being here. She's pregnant. It's a lot on her, as we all know, because she stated it already. But we find out that Jordan is hosting the Freaknik. We also find out Mariah is pretty much in Boston, making her way down to the Martha's Vineyard, which I'm so excited about. I've been so excited to see Mariah. I feel like Mariah needs to be back as a full-time cast member. Truth be told, I feel like Summer needs to take a season off, get herself together, and Mariah needs to take her place. But we'll get to that later on. But Simon arrives first, and he arrives in pajamas. The way Nick was acting was me. Nick was like, first of all, where you get them pajamas from? And then secondly, why are you wearing them? And he was like, you look crazy. And I feel the same way. But Jordan ends up heading out to the store to get the stuff for the party later on tonight. But Simon's greeting everybody in Bria. Bria and Simon have a confessional that is very odd, but it works for them. There's somebody out here for everybody. But Preston's boyfriend, Donald, shows up. It's good vibes with him. Everybody loves him. He's got good energy. He's greeting everybody. And Amir ended up heading off to go get Natalie, his girlfriend. So Simon, Bria, Summer, and Shanice, they head up to the balcony to eat. And Bria is talking about how she wishes Phil could come to Preston's little cocktail thing. Bria's obsession with Phil is a little concerning. And I'm saying it's a little concerning in the mindset as if I'm Simon. Because she's got a lot of attention on Phil when you got a boyfriend right here. But then again, the way Simon acts, I don't think Simon sees it as an issue. But maybe whatever works for them works for them. But that's just the way I see it. She's got some type of like obsession with Phil, but she wishes that Phil could come to Preston's thing. But Shanice ends up encouraging her to ask Preston if he can. And Preston and Donald end up coming out because they saw them there and asked them to come out. We find out that Preston and Donald have been together for 3 years. They met on a dating app online, and now they're moving in together. They work. They got a good vibe, so it's cool and good for them. But Simon, he then starts talking about how he'd like Phil to come because he needs some laughter. And when he said he needs some laughter, everybody, me included, was like, "What is he saying?" And it's because of his accent, you couldn't understand what he was saying. But we found out later on he was talking about laughter. But Preston says that he has no real beef with Phil, but he's not going to be the one to invite him. Like, he doesn't have an issue with him coming as long as he's on some good energy. But Bria can invite him, but he's not going to do it. And he said he's nervous, though, because he knows that he's an attention seeker. And if he doesn't get it, he's going to start acting a fool, but he better stay in his place. I said, exactly. But we get Amir and Natalie. They're driving to the house. We'll get to them in a minute. But Bria ends up asking if it's the first time that everybody's been around or at least hung out with Natalie, and everybody's pretty much saying yes, this will be the first time. Amir is in the car giving Natalie a rundown on everything, how everybody acts, pretty much forewarning her, and pretty much starts talking about how Summer is super touchy-feely, and Natalie says, yeah, I noticed that and I don't like it. And the way she's looking at him this whole time, I'm looking at her eyes, I'm like, something about her ain't right. It's giving me get out. Just the way she's looking at Amir this whole time in this scene, I was like, something ain't right with Chick. But Summer ends up saying that Natalie was very standoffish when she met her. I'm like, that's pretty rich coming from you, but it's quite interesting because I was sitting here thinking, who's going to be the bigger bitch this episode? Summer, Jordan, or Natalie? Because all three of them just give off bitchy vibes. But Amir is pretty much saying that if she feels, talking about Natalie, if she feels anything's going on, it's him and her at the end of the day, kind of reassuring her. And I feel like if you got to keep reassuring your girlfriend that ain't nothing going on with you just being friendly around these other girls that are your friends, y'all need to be in a relationship. It sounds like Natalie needs to get her security together because, like, if you're that insecure about him just being around friends, I don't know what to tell you. But we'll get to why she probably feels that way later on, but we'll get to it. But Summer ends up saying that she understands the animosity towards Jordan because Amir liked Jordan, but it has nothing to do with her. I said, you're right about that. But then again, you are friends with Jordan, or at least probably when y'all first met Natalie, y'all was like this together. So she might lump you into it with Jordan. But everybody's getting ready. Bria is FaceTiming Phil and letting him know that he can come to the event and that he needs to let Mariah, or he can let Mariah know. Not realizing that Mariah is literally sitting right there next to Phil in the car. And what does Phil do? Turn that camera to Mariah. Mariah's like, what's up, Bria? And Bria was shook. That was so awkward. But Shanice ended up coming in as her on the phone. And Bria shows Shanice Mariah, also awkward, saying that Phil was pulling plot twists. I'm like, nah, you called him. You called and FaceTimed him at the time that he's literally with Mariah. He wasn't doing nothing wrong. Like, you just happened to call him while he was literally with Mariah. But everybody's getting ready. Amir and Natalie arrive. Summer and Jordan are upstairs talking about them two. Like, have they gotten here yet? And Summer's like, yeah. Or Jordan's like, yeah, they still outside. And Summer says she's tired of meeting people. I said that is relatable because me, I'm the type of person I can't stand. I'm at the point in my life where I don't care to meet new people. Like, I'm tired of being around people. I'm tired of getting to know people. So I feel her on that. But Natalie and Jasmine meet for the first time. Amir starts showing Natalie around the house, like the backyard and stuff. Preston and Donald end up going to the venue to make sure everything's set up. And Amir starts talking about his relationship with Natalie, saying it's his most serious relationship that he's ever been in. She challenges him because she's a badass bitch, yada, yada, yada. Amir then knocks on Jordan and Summer's door to meet Natalie. Like, he wants them to meet Natalie. And they said they'll be right out, but they're changing. AKA, they're just stalling. They don't want to, them two do not want to go talk to Natalie. And Natalie don't want to talk to them. Amir wants to do that to kind of like squash whatever animosity might possibly be there. But Amir starts showing Natalie her room, and Summer ends up creeping out to go downstairs, which cracked me up. But Amir is now out by the stairs because Jordan's now outside, and he's pretty much talking to her, trying to, you want to go see Natalie? Natalie's in this room right here. And Jordan is like, without saying no, she's like, where's Noelle at? Where's Noelle at? She downstairs, and she starts walking downstairs too. So they both just avoided going to see Natalie. That made me laugh. But Amir says that Natalie knows every single woman in that house has expressed interest in him. I said, you the one that expressed interest in Jordan. She didn't want you. You the one that wanted her, and she didn't want you. And then he starts talking about how he has been doing what he said he's been doing, which is staying away from Jordan. Apparently, that's what he's been telling Natalie. And I'm like, you could be around Jordan because Jordan don't want you. Like, you can literally be friends with Jordan. You could sit. Jordan, literally all last season, has shown that she didn't want you. So if Natalie didn't watch last season, that's on her. If she's that insecure of the thought that Jordan would want him because Amir actually wanted her, that's the issue you got to work out within yourself and Amir. They ain't got nothing to do with Jordan. But we get to the cocktail party. Everybody ends up heading off to go. Most of the group heads off except for Bria and Simon and Amir and Natalie, who end up riding together. So the majority of them get there. They're greeting Preston and Donald, taking pictures. Certain friends from Jordan's and Preston start arriving. Jordan's friend ends up asking if they've ever been to a Freaknik. This was so funny. Not Summer. Noelle says no, but my dad was always up in there talking about he was patrolling. And then she said, my ass, like he been up in there like acting a fool. And she said, that's how my cousin was born. And Preston's like, so we all got cousins that was born in Freaknik. And Noelle says she won't talk about that, though, because she is a renowned Christian. Noelle was cracking me up that whole scene. Noelle is naturally funny. But the most annoying couples ended up arriving, a.k.a. Bria and Simon and Natalie and Amir. And Amir finally forces Jordan and Natalie to greet. It was the most awkward thing because they was being fake. Both of them wearing brown. They talking about how they're wearing brown. Jasmine and Preston, they start talking about how Mariah needs to get the address to come. And Mariah and Phil arrive. Jasmine's excited to see Mariah. Most of the people are excited to see Mariah, obviously, except for Bria. But when they see Phil, the energy started to shift. You could feel the energy shifting. And Nick starts talking about how well-versed he is. Like, he goes to Wimbledon. He goes to all these high-class things. And the only time that him and Phil have been in the same space is here. Like, they don't run in the same circle because it's just levels to this shit. That's pretty much what Nick was saying, cracking me up. But Preston starts talking about how good Mariah looks, what she did. I love Mariah. I really want her to be back full-time next season. If they get it next season, hopefully they do. But Bria starts trying to act like she's unbothered, saying that they can coexist, talking to Jasmine, saying that she minds her business. I'm like, but you had such an issue with her coming. So if y'all could coexist, why did you have such an issue with Jasmine inviting her to come? And why couldn't she be there? Bria, she likes to try and act like she's unbothered, but Bria is the most bothered person on that cast. But Mariah ends up greeting Natalie and Amir. Amir gets in his confessionals talking about how Mariah had been texting him off and on about how she wants him to make a public apology about something that was an accident. And he believes that he does not owe anybody an apology because everybody wanted Mariah to go home for putting her hands on Bria. And I'm like, but she would have never did what she did if it wasn't for you. You the one that put the dog's shit in there with her clothes. So you're the one that started all of that. So yes, you do owe her an apology, and you do need to apologize. Like, take accountability for something that you did, Amir. And of course he didn't do it. But Amir starts bigging up his woman, talking about how she's a more established real estate agent than he is. She starts talking about how she sells more $1 million homes, yada, yada, yada. That energy was weird. Like, you could tell she already feels like she's better than him, and he's okay with it. Whatever. But Mariah and Bria, they finally have their conversation, and Bria saying that she appreciates how Mariah had reached out to her more than once. I said, so Mariah has been proactively trying to correct the issue, but you sitting here acting like she's such a horrible human being. Mariah did nothing wrong. I still stand by that. Mariah did nothing wrong, and she's still apologizing and trying to make things right. Bria, you are the issue. But Mariah's pretty much apologetic. She's saying that she didn't know that it was her to put the dog shit in the dryer. She's allergic to dogs, which is what triggered her and made her snap because she felt like it was intentional. Again, Mariah is just being super apologetic. Bria's acting like it was no big deal. and that it was a mirror and it could have all been avoided, which it could have been. And she's performing her ass off, acting like there's no issue, knowing that she's been acting a fool all season so far about it. But the girls ended up asking Natalie where she's from, like, has she always been in Texas? She said that she's from Miami, yada, yada, yada. As this is happening, Phil pulls the mirror and the boys to the side to go talk. Jordan says she ain't interacting with Phil. He been in her inbox, tweeting her, like pretty much low-key gaslighting her, like, why don't you like me, yada, yada, yada. She said, I just don't like you, period. Like, it is what it is. They ain't gonna, I didn't like you before and I don't like you now, period. And I'm like, at this point, I'm not mad at Jordan because I'm the same way. If I don't fool with you, I don't fool with you. Nothing you gonna do is gonna change that. But she ends up heading home because she's like, I'm not about to be around him, but essentially she's going home to get ready for the Freaknik. But Phil is telling the boys that at the bottom of his heart, he fucked up last year and he's sorry. Nick was talking about how it was chaotic, and Amir says, like, he just don't fuck with bullies. Phil was saying, like, he was on that tequila. He didn't remember a lot of stuff that happened. And Nick was pretty much like, you got to stop blaming that shit on the tequila. Like, yeah, you was drunk, but you still did it. Phil gets defensive, saying, like, he's not blaming it on the tequila. And Preston chimes in and says, but you are, which he was. And Nick was pretty much saying, like, I ain't got time for this. Nick is funny. Nick is starting to really, like, grow on me. Nick is funny. But Amir is saying, like, they're straight and cool if he don't start that attacking no more. And as he's talking, Phil cuts him off, and Amir's like, you gotta let me at least finish one sentence. And I feel him on that because I can't stand when people cut me off. Y'all know that's the dog. That's the dog. And I'm not cutting it out. But Preston then thanks them for coming out, and it's time to go get ready for Freaknik. So they all head back home. Back home, everybody's getting dressed. Jordan and Mariah, they both have like these little short Halle Berry type hairs. Both of them look good. Nick is covered in tattoos, hilarious, as is Alex. But everybody goes down except for Natalie and Amir, who are still upstairs Natalie's still getting ready, and she has no sense of urgency at all. Amir looks to be ready, but he's standing up there because Natalie's up there. And she starts talking about, I can't be a part of that. So why the fuck are you here? That's what I was thinking. Why are you here? And she pretty much tells Amir, like, you can go down there if you want to, like, passive aggressively, like, she wants him to still be up there, but she's trying to act like she don't, and he can go down there because he obviously wants to go down there. But he says that he'll just stay up there with her. But everybody loves Nick's look, like I said. Amir ends up finally joining them downstairs, and they head outside. Natalie is still upstairs. I'm like, why are you here? If you don't want to mingle with these people, go home. But they all ended up heading back downstairs. Jordan ends up welcoming everybody, gives them a history lesson on what Freaknik is, how it started. Natalie finally is down there, and the DJ's playing music. Everybody's having fun except for Natalie. Natalie looks like she would rather be somebody else or somewhere else, which I guess because she's the only white person there besides Simon, who Simon is enjoying himself. Simon seems like the type of person that just likes to have fun. He's enjoying himself. Natalie looks like every white person that just does not fit in with a bunch of black people. I'm just keeping it real. But Amir and Natalie, they're in the hot tub being super couple-like. And it was funny because Summer was in the hot tub with them, but she's in the corner looking so just like she would rather be anywhere else but with them. But everybody else ends up joining them in the hot tub, and Jasmine ends up asking Natalie and Amir about living together and how they're enjoying it. Amir says that they moved in together after 2 months of meeting and getting to know each other. And Preston ends up asking them both, like, what's next for y'all? Like, what are y'all trying to do? Like, y'all still trying to, like, still be boyfriend, girlfriend? Like, what's next for y'all? Amir looks at Natalie like, what's next for us? She looks at him like, you tell me. I'm like, why you can't just answer a question? But she then finally starts talking about how they're starting their careers together. They're in the same team now, which I'm assuming they're working on the same real estate firm, whatever. But she's excited to work with him. Amir says that their next stop is engagement. I don't know how long they've been together. I can't remember. But Shanice says it's wild that he's already ready, and he needs to start making sure that Natalie is true for him. Because when you take that step to propose, you do need to know that that woman is who you are supposed to be with. And I'm like, that's true, but it's true. Because you look at how they are. She's got, I don't know. I don't want to say that she don't want to be with him, but she got a type of energy about her where I feel like she's with him for optics. And I feel like he wants to be with her more than she wants to be with him. And I feel like she wants to stamp him as territory. Cause the way she be acting and the way he don't have no backbone with her is weird. Like they don't address things, and that's never good in a relationship, let alone a damn marriage. She got a lot of issues that she don't really want to address, and he knows that she has those issues, but he never wants to press the issue to understand what the issue is and how they can fix it. And that's a problem in a relationship. You can't go into a relationship like that, but especially a marriage. But Jordan comes back out wanting to play games, wanting to play Never Have I Ever. So they start that. Amir and Natalie get out because they're hot, because they've been in that hot tub too long. Y'all just didn't want to answer them questions. But Donald is in the house, knocked the fuck out, snoring. They in there talking, trying to look at him and trying to figure out what he's doing. But Noelle starts the Never Have I Ever game. She says, never have I ever sucked you know what. And Mariah says, you ain't ever done it. Summer says, you a damn liar. This is where it starts with Summer. Noelle then starts trying to change her Never Have I Ever, and Summer starts screaming, that's not how it works. It's like, damn, relax. It's a meaningless game. It's not that serious. Preston then tells her, like, we already told her how it works. Like, it's cool. Summer saying, are you getting feisty with me? Called him a bitch. And I'm like, she's either drunk or she's literally having an episode, which we later see she's having an episode. But Bria then says you're scared. And I don't think she was talking to Summer, but the way they didn't really show us Bria when she said it so we could see who she was talking to. But Summer took it as a dig to her. She says, bitch, get out the pool then. Like, I'm not scared. And Summer ends up saying that she thought it was Bria saying something rude. And I'm like, Bria didn't say nothing rude. She just said, you're scared. And I don't even think she was talking to her. But Bria says, I'm not even thinking about you. I'm lit. Y'all know I don't care for Bria, but it's true. She was not thinking about you, Summer. But Summer ends up pump faking as she comes to Bria with this cup like she about to do something. And Bria is pretty much like, do it. Throw something. Everybody's thrown off because they're like, we know it ain't got nothing to do with us. They know that Summer is dealing with something, but she just ain't pretty much addressed it. And we all know she's redirecting that I don't want to say anger, but she's concerned about her grandma. So she's taking all of that stress and unloading on Bria and all these other people in the house because she has not addressed what she's going through. But everybody else head back inside. Summer comes in there where Mariah and Alex, they're in the kitchen in the sink, just being there. And she's aggressive, like, why y'all doing this in the kitchen? And Alex is like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you yelling at me? And Alex says, like, Summer came into the house last season curious and kind. Like, that's what attracted to him initially, him to her initially. And this season, she's just not that. But everybody else is mostly heading off to bed. And we get Shanice, Bria, and Noelle. They're upstairs in the room talking about if Summer comes in, the code word is meow. Summer comes walking in, and what they start doing, meowing. And Summer says, why are y'all leaving me out of everything? Like, what do you want from me? Here she go. Noelle said, I'm going to keep it real with you. It's giving very much like, what's going on? Like, what's going on with you? Like, truly, what is going on with you? Summer says she don't know. And she said that she thought that they left it at the pool, talking about the stuff with her and Bria. And she said she kept coming to Bria and kept apologizing. And Summer's pretty much pleading her case to Bria as to why she did what she did. And she's apologetic and yada, yada. Noelle and Shanice, because Summer's on the end of the bed. Bria is like in that little ottoman in front of the bed. Shanice is in the bed behind Summer. And Noelle is on the side. So Shanice is facing this way. Noelle's right here with the wigs on taking pictures. And Summer is literally me talking to y'all. Bria is y'all. And Shanice and Noelle are laughing and goofing off because they taking pictures. Summer not knowing what they're doing, but just hearing them laughing, she takes it as a sign that they're laughing at her as she's pleading her case to Bria. She gets upset. Noelle immediately notices that she's literally thinking that they're laughing at her. Noelle starts trying to plead her case, like she's saying, I'm not making fun of you. I was just playing with the wigs, like we're just being goofy. Summer started blowing up, walking out. Noelle goes after her, trying to calm her down. Summer randomly ends up in a room with Bria. And Noelle and Shanice are back in the room. Noelle's dumbfounded. Shanice is dumbfounded. They're like, how did this turn into that? So then Noelle then gets up and goes into the room with Summer and Bria, pretty much explaining herself like, I was not laughing at you. I was just goofing around. And Summer says they're fine, but she says it so passive aggressively to where Noelle's like, what is going on with you? Summer then starts crying. Noelle's comforting her. Bria's trying to comfort her as well. But Summer starts talking about how, or at least Bria started talking about how, like, they started talking about friendships or whatever, but Bria started talking about how, like, her and Preston are super tight, talking about Summer. And Summer's like, it's not, you don't want to be a part of that. And Summer said it in a way that made a lot of sense. She said, like, her friendship with Preston and Jordan is not that great of a friendship, like, that you would want to be a part of it. Because she said, Preston lost his dad, Jordan's losing her hair, and I'm dealing with my shit with my grandma and my with my parents. And I'm like, you right. That friendship is literally built off of trauma. They're trauma bonding. Like, they got a lot of shit going on, and that's not a friendship that I want to be involved with. That's a bunch of shit. That's a lot of drama. That's a lot of heavy, deep shit going on. So Summer was right in regards to that. But Bria and Summer, they're trying to figure out what's going on with, did I say Bria and Summer? Bria and Noelle were trying to figure out what's going on with Summer because they know it's something deeper going on. And Summer is saying in her confessional that she feels overwhelmed by life. I'm like, damn. I feel bad for her in this instance, honestly. Like, the way she's lashing out is too much, but the stuff that she's going through, I do feel bad for her. But she said she feels overwhelmed with life and she doesn't know how to vocalize it. And the producers are pretty much like, do you not feel like your friends are there to help you? And she says she doesn't want to, like, a part of her wants the help from the friends, but a big part of her doesn't want it because she doesn't want to feel like she's like a burden to them because she got a lot of shit going on. And it could be a lot for somebody, which I understand. She needs therapy. That's what I've come to the conclusion with. Like, she needs to go sit and talk to somebody. She just needs to talk to somebody. Whether it be her friends or not, I feel like therapy is the best because that person don't know you. You could just literally, and they're there to literally be there to help you. Like, help you put the pieces together. So she needs to go talk to somebody, a therapist, mainly, most importantly. But they go back in the room with Shanice. And she is sitting there on that bed, busting down on some wings. The wings look good. The wings look good. And she was tearing them up. But Summer then comes back in there because all four of them are back in the room. And she starts talking about how she thought that her and Bria were past the issue, but it got brought back up again, which is what triggered her. Summer says that Bria, she's had Bria's back because Bria's like, I feel like I'm getting literally accused of a lot of things, which you are. And a lot of the time it is valid. But Summer's like, I had your back. And Bria's pretty much like, I don't think you have. And Noelle's like, what makes you think that she didn't have your back? And Summer was pretty much saying, like, what do you want me to do? And she's screaming at this point because Jordan, Jasmine, and Nick are downstairs. I think it was Nick. We're downstairs and they hear her yelling. They're like, there's somebody up there yelling. Noelle's trying to console Summer. Summer's having an episode. Like, you can see that ticking time bomb is ticking. She's like, Noelle, get off of me. And pushes Noelle. This is the second time Summer done got physical with somebody. This was a push too. And this was a push that Noelle, she better than me. Noelle's a better friend than me because you wouldn't have pushed me. Because you would have had an issue on top of, you would have had a new issue on top of them issues you already dealing with. Because you're not going to put your hands on me, especially when I'm trying to help you. But I understand where she's coming from too. Like, if I'm angry, I don't want nobody touching me either, but still. But Noelle is still being a good friend, trying to console her. Summers tries to walk out because she going off on Bria now, says, fuck you, you dumb bitch. That's why your man don't fuck with you. And walked off and stormed off. Bria didn't do nothing about it. But she storms off. Noelle's trying to calm her down. She's downstairs throwing shit. And I'm talking about Summer. She downstairs throwing and slamming shit. She's slamming it in front of Jordan, Nick, Mariah, Jordan, Nick, Jasmine, everybody down there. And she acting a fool and having a whole episode. So Summer got a lot of shit going on. Like I said at the beginning of this recap, I feel like she needs to take a season off, go see some therapy, fix those issues, those dark demons that you're dealing with before coming back for hopefully a season 4 if there is one. But that is my thoughts. Let me know what y'all thought down below. Like I said again, like, comment, subscribe if you are new, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.